talk now about the three-stage rocket firing of the golf swing. Basically, we've got three stages here. From the top of the swing, stage number one, delivery to the launch platform. Over here at P3, we want to shallow out the shaft, and we want to get it down here on the 430 line. So stage number one, and we do this with a flexing of the right knee to initiate transition, and we want the arms and hands to drop, feeling as if they're dropping into the right hip pocket, and we get the shaft down here. This is not an easy thing to learn how to do. There are a few natural slaughters, but we spend a lot of time, modules 5, 6, 7, super slotting, teaching students how to do this. So, stage one, deliver to the platform. Stage two, forearm rotation and wrist cock happen simultaneously into impact, as well as the initial torso rotation into the ball. We don't want to spin our torso too soon. We want to save, because stage three is going to be all about that post-impact and other things. So, number one, to the launching pad. Number two, forearm rotation and torso rotation into the strike. Now, as we develop this speed from here to here, we don't continue to flip the club over. In other words, it's kind of like a door hitting a door jam. It can be very accurate. It comes through the same every time. But when it hits the door jam, bam, it stops. Now, it's like the whole wall moves. Stage three. Stage three, torso rotation. Quick. So it's kind of like I've used the analogy of a track runner where they relay and they pass the baton. So the guy coming at running, the new guy grabs it and takes off, and he's running faster than the guy that was coming up behind him. So in other words, the torso rotation needs to, initiated with the left shoulder, needs to outrace the forearm rotation. So we go 2, 3. Okay? So we train and we work on these in two separate ways, because these are really two separate muscle groups going on. But ultimately, they're going to need to work together and very quickly. So this all has to happen subconsciously and automatically. And we train to strike, and we train to accelerate through the strike. The core of our torso, spinning, post-impact, very, very fast, creates a lot of power, and we can easily outrace the efforts of the forearm rotation. So it's very much a feeling that the forearm rotation into the strike and the torso rotation picks up and moves to stay ahead of it, so that the forearm rotation doesn't do this. We do this to stop this from happening. So we accelerate here so that we don't get the shaft flipping. So the stronger our rotation, we're able to keep the shaft a very extended looking. I like to think of the butt of the club always pointing at the chi, or the center. So once we get to impact, boom, then we have this pointing all the way to our finish. Well, not quite to our finish, but just as we come up with what we call PV5. So, stage one, delivery, fire, forearm rotation, torso rotation. So we want to save a lot of torso rotation for the last split seconds past impact. Because if we spend it all, if on the downswing we turn our torso too soon, we have nothing left over to help us. So this is a reason why we want to save the torso rotation for as late as possible, because we're going to need some. In fact, we're going to need a lot post-impact. Nick Price is a perfect example of someone that would actually have his shoulders very, very square still at impact, and then in that next frame, I mean, they're wide open. Very, very fast accelerating. Ben Hogan opened at impact because he was so flexible, had so much range of motion with his torso post-impact, probably better than anybody ever. So strong and so fast that he was actually accelerated a little bit sooner than other people. Most of us aren't going to be that way. So we want to save torso rotation. I like to feel like my shoulders are closed at P3 and wide open at P4. So along with the rotation of the shoulders, through the strike, we also have weight transfer happening as well. And while weight transfer might not seem like it's creating a lot of power, you'd be surprised that the transfer of weight from the right foot to the left foot does create a few miles per hour of speed for us. And with a driver, that can make the difference between somebody swinging at 105 miles an hour and maybe 108 or 109 just from weight transfer. So stage one, just to refresh, a drop into the right leg initiated with the right knee flex, and there's going to be a little bit of the right arm straightening out, a little bit. So the arms are moving down, a little bit of the right arm helping, aiding in that, straightening out. Doesn't straighten all the way, just straightens a little bit, brings us down to P3, forearm rotation, and the uncocking of the wrist happens simultaneously, stage 2. Some torso rotation starts picking up here, and then the bulk of the torso rotation moving through. So finally, I'll bring into this what I call the fifth accumulator, is where it's the raising up of the arms up off the body. If we continue to rotate the club around flat and just were to finish over here, we're going to be a very short hitter. Okay. The golf swing is something that happens as a total motion. Forget about the golf ball. Okay, the swing of the club is something that happens from address through transition down and to our finish all the way through. Ball's just in the way, ball gets hit. But the complete action and wholeness of the golf swing is something that happens. It's constantly in motion, and it works all the way through from start to finish. So we want to develop as much speed as we can post-impact, and the motion from P4 up to PV5 is just as critical as anything else going on. We've got to keep the shaft moving. We want to keep accelerating and keep striving towards holding shaft flex. So 3, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. 3-stage rocket firing. We train him separately, individually. There are different muscle groups, different techniques for doing this, and eventually drills, hit balls, play, work this into your game, and you can master it.